or just $500 billion or so of investment that Trump wants to announce this afternoon, and it's all tied to artificial intelligence. He's saying that he's got agreement from various huge companies such as Oracle and SoftBank and OpenAI to invest in an exponential increase in America's development of AI, artificial intelligence.
It may feel like an age already, but it's been, well, just over 24 hours since Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. Since then, he's signed in executive orders, around 100 of them, repealing Biden-era actions, pardoning Capitol rioters, pulling out of the Paris Climate Accords for the second time, and declaring action on the migration crisis at the southern border with Mexico. Let's cross to Washington, D.C. and speak to David Charter, assistant US editor of The Times, to find out how it's been shaking out over there. Good evening, David.
Hello, Kate from Washington, D.C.
Look, border and immigration seems to be something, good evening to you, David, seems to be something that is immediately spiking a bit of contention today. I've just been reading that Democratic states are suing Donald Trump over his effort to end birthright citizenship. His border czar has said that immigration raids will begin today. I mean, this is a day two operation. This is one of the most important items on Donald Trump's agenda.
Yeah, this is one of the two big issues that really brought him to power, along with inflation. We might get onto that in a bit, but you're right. 18 states have already announced a lawsuit against Trump's order to end birthright citizenship, which means that every baby born in the US is automatically a citizen. And his order says that if both parents are effectively illegal migrants, they're not American citizens, then this is for the first time in American history denying that. And it's part of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which has great historical roots because it was brought in initially to ensure that all of the freed slaves and their descendants would be full American citizens, because so many of them back in the day didn't have documentation. So that's where it's got its roots. Trump says that no other country has it, and it is an unusual and very American thing. I mean, Britain doesn't have it, for example, but it is part of the US Constitution dating back to the late 19th century. So it will be the subject, and it will be the subject of enormous and immediate legal challenge. And of course, a court could very quickly put a pause on it while the legal arguments are considered. So we'll be watching that. But as you say, there are hundreds of cities around America which have declared they are sanctuary cities, where the authorities will not actively cooperate with the immigration authorities. So they have been bracing for this moment. They know that Trump has promised massive roundups of migrants who don't have the right to remain in America. They don't have visas, or they've overstayed their visa. Chicago, for example, San Diego, there's advice has been going out to officials in those cities of exactly how to behave if agents from the immigrations and customs agency to show up and start trying to arrest people, which, as Tom Homan, the border czar, says is likely to start today.
Well, OK. All right. I'm going to be debating more on Donald Trump's new immigration and border policies a bit later on in the show, so we'll park that one there. I note with interest that Elon Musk is going to reportedly be given office space in the White House as he beds in. There's lots of debate, of course, as to how close he really is with Elon Musk, but he'll be running the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, very much with his feet under the table, it appears. What else have we learned today? I understand that there's going to be a big announcement on infrastructure from Donald Trump this afternoon, with an emphasis on big, as there always is, David. It happens around 9 o'clock our time. Any hints as to what that might be?
Or just $500 billion or so of investment that Trump wants to announce this afternoon, and it's all tied to artificial intelligence. He's saying that he's got agreement from various huge companies such as Oracle and SoftBank and OpenAI to invest in an exponential increase in America's development of AI, artificial intelligence, which was a notable absentee actually from his inaugural address yesterday. I thought there might be something on it, but we didn't hear anything about it. Well, this was obviously brewing. Some of the key figures involved were actually in that very elite group of people who made it into the rotunda of the US Capitol to watch the speech. And this is a developing area of technology that brings obviously enormous opportunities, but may collide with some of the rest of Trump's agenda. For example, he wants to increase America's fossil fuel production, to increase exports and bring down inflation, make America wealthy again. But we all know that AI sucks up a lot of energy. So will America be able to increase its energy exports and bring down inflation as Trump envisages? His answer to making your dollar go further is that he'll bring down the cost of petrol, etc., by increasing by drill baby drill, increasing oil exploitation. Well, will AI actually collide with that? And just as an aside on Elon Musk, I think people are also wondering, he's in head of a government department to cut costs, but Trump also announced a push to put the American flag on Mars during his presidency,
Yes.
which has an enormous price tag attached to it. So that doesn't seem to add up either at the moment.
Elon Musk saying yesterday in that Capital One arena that Doge is going to put the flag on Mars, which seemed like a complete contradiction as it's about government efficiencies. And then he talks about the department putting a flag on Mars. It's all good fun. We watch with interest, of course, some really interesting policies. When we talk about border and immigration, there are perhaps lessons to be learnt there. There are things to be watched, I'm sure, all over the world, really, when it comes to how successful some of Donald Trump's new policies will be. David Charter, thanks for being with us, Assistant US Editor of The Times.